The world saw the attack by Trump supporters play out in real time, but equally sinister, according to congressional Republicans and Democrats investigating events surrounding the 2020 U.S. presidential election, are Donald Trump's efforts to spin conspiracy theories and target state lawmakers in a desperate effort to cling to power.
The president's lie was and is a dangerous cancer on the body politic. If you can convince Americans that they cannot trust their own elections, that any time they lose it is somehow illegitimate, then what is left but violence to determine who should govern?
Intimidation came before the January 6th violence. This is inside the Arizona State House, weeks before. Recognize this demonstrator? This is the man who gained infamy, labeling himself the QAnon shaman. He and others illegally entered the State House, calling out Republican Speaker of the House, Rusty Bowers. Trump and his attorneys had for weeks been pressuring Bowers to toss out the legitimate election results, demanding the Speaker name a substitute list of electors who would support Trump rather than Biden, who carried the state. Trump lawyers told Bowers to let the courts figure it out.
And I said, you're asking me to do something that's never been done in history, the history of the United States, and I'm going to put my state through that without sufficient proof, and that's going to be good enough with me?
Bowers held firm and has since been a constant target of Trump and his rabid supporters. It has also been well chronicled that Trump called Georgia's Secretary of State to tell him to find 11,000 plus votes Trump would need to win Georgia. Brad Raffensperger, who voted for Trump, refused. Trump leaned on Raffensperger for 67 minutes during a phone call. The Georgia official countered with 4 simple but true words.
The numbers don't lie.
And it wasn't just elected officials. Trump and his team concocted a number of theories or allegations, none supported with evidence. Wandrea Shea Moss says her life will never be the same after the Trump team accused Moss and her mother of surreptitiously pulling out suitcases of illegal votes for Biden, thus cheating Trump out of victory.
I felt horrible. I felt like it was all my fault.
It was all a lie by Trump and his staff, but it caused a world of hurt for Moss and her mother, who had served for years as election officials after they were inundated by attacks online.
Those horrible things, did they include threats?
Yes, a lot of threats, wishing death upon me, telling me that, I'll be in jail with my mother.
In the end, Moss and her mother both resigned, fed up with the attacks. Hearings continue Thursday, focusing on the former president's efforts to pressure law enforcement to step in and clear a path for him to take the White House. Sean Callebs, CGTN, Washington.